We welcome you back to the Lair. This is where we talk all things Wildcat football. I'm LB Graham. This is my friend and partner Luke Davis. And in our last episode, we recapped the Burrows game. In this episode, we want to preview the Christian High game, which is this Friday night. Just as a reminder, it's the second of our two night games. Friday night, 7 o'clock at Christian High. Luke, why don't we just jump right into it? You've been doing some research on Christian High. You got 3 keys to the game. What did you see?
Yeah, I mean, they have a number of players that can make impact. Kristen Mays can come out of the backfield and get the high percentage of receptions. Colton Carlisle, good slot back and good defensive rush end. But really, there are some things that primarily affect us and our approach to the game after a game like Burrows, and also keying on.
And when you say that, right after a game like Burrows, you know, the worry after the big game you get up for, and you have an opponent that's traditionally not been as big a challenge, is the letdown game. And so a lot of it is about avoiding the letdown game.
We can't allow that. We did beat Christian last year 56-14 on Carnival weekend. That was a big win for us, but this is a new season. That leads us into the first key. Focus, focus, focus. We can't let that turn into a letdown this week. We've got to prep as if they're the Soviet Army and we're the Wolverines in Red Dawn. We just have to do it that way. And an additional thing, we don't need to be coming in with our heads in the clouds. Beating the number 1 team doesn't guarantee you any special privileges. You'll think this is weird or maybe usual, but I did channel my inner Lou Holtz, and I emailed Missouri State High School Activities Association yesterday, and I just confirmed with them, and they let me that I was right. First down, it still takes 10 yards to make a first down. If you don't get it in 4 downs, you still give up the ball. Our team needs to know touchdowns.
Sounds like Hoosiers, right? It's 15 feet from the free throw line to the basket.
Same rules apply for everybody.
That's right.
So we need to go in that keeping our feet there on terra firma. Second key, particularly having to do with the scouting report with Christian, our defense needs to put out the APB for DT, and that's DT Christensen. He has passed for 1,246 yards. He has also run for 667 yards. He is the double threat of both running and passing. Those would be great stats for a Canadian quarterback with that kind of mobility. But in addition, 15 touchdowns passing, 14 touchdowns running. What this means is he has he is responsible for 29 of the Eagles' 32 touchdowns this year. That's a tall order to deal with, but we do have a very responsible, very capable defense. We saw what they did to Burrows this past week, and they do have the ability to put so much heat on opposing star players that it feels like a crawfish boil in Louisiana.
And one of our themes this year has been with Schrader, with Lutheran South, and with Bain, with Burrows, that people come in with these kind of gaudy stats, and our coaching staff and our defense have done a good job taking away that thing they really want to do. So I have a lot of confidence that if our players execute, there'll be a great game plan.
Our defense knows how to make the other team stars fade away.
And find a different way to beat us, and it sounds like they're really disproportionately
They are putting all their eggs in the Christensen basket, so it'll be interesting to see what happens in this matchup. But get heat on him and force him to scramble around, and if you contain him, that's going to put pressure on the other players to produce in this situation. Thirdly, steal the bacon and protect our own slab. Look, it's senior night at Christian High. It's going to be the last regular season game for their seniors. These guys are going to be so high. They're going to be higher than a Presbyterian pastor who's read John Calvin for 3 days on no sleep.
Wow.
Think about that.
Flying high.
Exactly. And the way to pop that balloon, the most effective way, is to force turnovers, to take that ball away. You got to be John Malkovich from Red and say, I'm getting the pig. And just whether it's a pick six, rip six, or just taking away and getting a turnover, they employ a very high chance offensive scheme. And when you run those kind of high chances, you run the risk against a disciplined defense like ours of giving the ball away. On the other hand, we've got to protect the ball ourselves, protect our own slab. So we had a couple of fumbles against Burrows. We did manage to recover those on offense. We had one INT that was more like a punt. It was more advantageous.
Sure.
But we don't want to make those kinds of mistakes against a team like Christian, so protect the pig.
So you just went from Presbyterian pastors to John Malkovich, and on Friday night we will try to protect our bacon or something like that.
We're going to integrate all of that.
So Lucas just said bring bacon to the game because we need to protect it.
Bacon!
Friday night, 7 o'clock, Christian High. Come and support your team. We'll see you there.